The world knows him as one of the most mysterious and unpredictable leaders on the planet. He commands the largest standing army in the world. He has nuclear weapons pointed at major cities. And yet, almost nothing about him is truly known. Who is the man behind the dark sunglasses and the oversized suits? How did a quiet, overweight boy educated in Switzerland become the absolute dictator of one of the most isolated nations on Earth? This is the strange and chilling story of Kim Jong Un. His story begins in secrecy. He was born in either 1982 or 1984, and even his exact birth year is a mystery. The official story says he was born on a sacred mountain, with a star appearing in the sky to mark his arrival. This is, of course, propaganda. The truth is far more ordinary. He was born into the most powerful family in North Korea, the grandson of the country's founder, Kim Il-sung, and the son of Kim Jong Il, who would rule after his father. But here is where the story takes a strange turn. While the North Korean people were told their future leader was being raised as a military genius from birth, the reality was very different. In the late 1990s, a chubby, quiet boy arrived at a private school in Bern, Switzerland. He wore expensive clothes, carried a lot of cash, and told everyone his name was Pak Un, the son of a diplomat from a North Korean embassy. The truth, of course, was that he was the son of the most powerful man in one of the world's most secretive countries. For 4 years, from 1996 to 2000, Kim Jong Un lived a life that most North Koreans could only dream of. He went to movies. He ate pizza. He played basketball in the gym. He watched Disney films and loved the NBA. His classmates remember him as shy, awkward, and completely uninterested in politics. He struggled with German and French, preferring to play video games and eat junk food. But while he was living this comfortable life, his family back home was running a brutal dictatorship. And when he turned 17, the dream ended. He was called back to North Korea, pulled out of his Swiss school, and thrust into a world he was not prepared for. Returning to North Korea was a shock. He went from the freedom of Switzerland to a country where every word, every action, every thought is controlled. He was placed under the supervision of military generals who had one job: to turn the soft, overweight teenager into a ruthless leader. They showed him videos of public executions. They made him watch as people were killed for minor crimes. They taught him that mercy was weakness and that fear was the only tool a leader truly needs. This was his education. Not books or science or philosophy, but the mechanics of terror. For years, he remained hidden, known only to a small circle of party insiders. While his older brother, Kim Jong Un, was being groomed as the heir, the younger brother stayed in the shadows, preparing for a role he never expected to play. Then, in 2001, everything changed. Kim Jong Un, the golden boy, the presumed successor, was caught trying to enter Japan on a fake passport. He claimed he wanted to visit Tokyo Disneyland. It was an embarrassing, almost comic incident, but in the serious world of North Korean power, it was a fatal mistake. He was banished from the succession, cut off from the family, and forced to live in exile. The door was now open for the younger brother. Kim Jong Un was suddenly the heir to the most dangerous throne on Earth. For the next decade, he was trained in the art of dictatorship. He was given control of the military and the secret police. He attended public executions, not as a witness, but as a participant in the system of terror. He learned that loyalty could only be guaranteed through fear. In December 2011, his father, Kim Jong Il, died of a heart attack while traveling on his personal train. The world watched as the young, unknown son took control of a nuclear-armed state. He was only in his late 20s. He was inexperienced. He was untested. Almost everyone assumed he would be a puppet, a figurehead controlled by older, more powerful men in the military. They were wrong. Within months, Kim Jong Un began to consolidate power with a ruthlessness that shocked even hardened observers of the regime. He systematically eliminated anyone he saw as a threat. In 2013, he arrested and executed his own uncle, Jang Song-thaek, one of the most powerful men in the country. He was accused of treason, convicted in a 5-minute trial, and executed immediately. In 2017, his older brother, Kim Jong Un, was murdered in a Kuala Lumpur airport. 2 women approached him and wiped a deadly nerve agent on his face. He died within minutes. The assassination was carried out by North Korean agents, almost certainly on the orders of the brother he had once played with as a child. These were not isolated incidents. Intelligence sources estimate that Kim Jong Un has executed or purged hundreds of senior officials. Anyone who shows independent thought, anyone who gains too much power, anyone who might one day challenge him, simply disappears. Under his rule, North Korea has become even more brutal. The concentration camps, already infamous, have expanded. Satellite images show thousands of prisoners, many of them entire families, held in conditions that are almost impossible to describe. Torture, starvation, forced labor, public executions. This is the machinery of control. And yet, inside North Korea, Kim Jong Un is worshipped as a god. Children are taught from birth that he is divine, that he never makes mistakes, that he watches over them like a loving father. His image hangs in every home, every school, every factory. When he appears in public, millions weep with joy. Or at least, they learn to weep. This is the great contradiction of Kim Jong Un. He lives in a world of absolute control, but he also lives in absolute fear. He never sleeps in the same place twice. He travels everywhere in an armored train, moving slowly across the country at night to avoid assassination. He has multiple body doubles who appear in public to confuse potential attackers. He is surrounded by guards who have been trained to die for him, but he trusts none of them completely. His personal life is as mysterious as everything else about him. He is believed to be married to Ri Sol-ju, a former cheerleader, though even this is not confirmed. He reportedly has several children, but their names and ages are state secrets. He lives in multiple palaces with personal chefs, private cinemas, and swimming pools, while his people starve in the countryside. But there are signs that his grip on power may be weakening. Foreign films and television shows, smuggled in on USB drives, are spreading through the country. Young people are beginning to see a world beyond the propaganda. Soldiers, once fiercely loyal, are increasingly disillusioned by the gap between their suffering and their leader's luxury. There are also questions about his health. He has gained significant weight in recent years, and rumors of heart problems and diabetes persist. He moves slowly. He looks tired. The stress of ruling through fear takes a physical toll. If something happens to Kim Jong Un, what comes next? His sister, Kim Yo-jong, has been groomed as a potential successor. She is smart, ruthless, and deeply loyal to the family. But whether the military would accept a female leader in such a patriarchal society is unknown. The other possibility is chaos. A power struggle between factions. A collapse of the state. A humanitarian crisis that would dwarf anything we have seen before. For now, Kim Jong Un remains in control, the absolute ruler of a nation of 25 million people, armed with nuclear weapons, isolated from the world, and driven by a paranoia that is probably justified. He is a product of the strangest political system on Earth, raised in luxury abroad, trained in cruelty at home, and now trapped in a prison of his own making. The story of Kim Jong Un is not just the story of one man. It is the story of what happens when power is absolute, when truth is whatever the leader says it is, and when fear becomes the only language anyone understands. It is a warning, and it is a mystery that continues to unfold.